but if he wanted to, he could have repaired it, I think, which he probably did. Anyway, another base going up for Violet as well. Canata is still stuck at those 4 bases, but here's that push moving out now. I hope they click on his unit so I can see what the upgrades are. Some Zealots running in, trying to get a head start on that base, but he doesn't. Maybe he didn't realize that Canata was pushing out with a big push because he just kind of threw away those Zealots. There we go. 2-1 upgrades. Must have just finished. 2-2 actually. This 2 armor just finished, just in the middle of me mentioning right there, and he is now pushing across the field with a huge mechanized army of 2-2 units. And he's going for the expansions first. Sometimes players will actually just go straight for the jugular and go for the main, but that can be risky because then you don't cut off their economy, but it can be better because then you cut off their production and their ability to get units out to reinforce. In this case, he's going to go for the economy, the economic win, and he's going to just go in for the expansions. And if he cuts off this route here, he'll be able to... Uh-oh, is Violet going to counter? Violet's army is across the map. It looks like he might be trying to counter. He's going to lose that expansion. He just does not even try to save it. He's going to just lose that expansion, and instead he's going in for a recall in the back of Kanata's expansion. Canata with not much to protect this base here. All of his forces are out in the field attacking, so he's choosing to just counterattack, and I like this move actually. Normally not a good move to counterattack as Protoss. You usually end up the Terran can just bunker in their main, and the counterattack doesn't work as well. But Violet is doing a really good job with the recall counterattack of killing off that base. Now he's going into the natural expansion as well. This is where he's going to meet. Oh, that Templar's just sitting there. Oh, it could storm so much if it could cast a storm. It may have already cast it when we weren't looking. There, the Templar goes down, so much for that. But he's attacking the natural, and this is where it's the problem. Is he going into that natural expansion, and Violet looking a little bit perturbed here. He's looking a little bit alarmed that he's losing all of his expansion bases right now, and his counterattack into the natural is failing. That's exactly why it's not as good. But look at his stasis on all those tanks actually, so he may be able to take out the natural expansion after all, and he's taking out that CC at the first base that he expanded to the south of his main. So both players trading bases back and forth, and Violet looks like he is actually going to take out an equal number of expansion bases. Both players are going to be stuck with just their mains in just a matter of moments. Violet does have a base at the top right corner that he's mining from right now. It looks like Canata kind of knows about it. Bisu is smiling. Maybe he knows more than I do about what's going to happen here. But it does look like Canata is going to come out ahead of this because he still has most of his army. He hasn't lost much. However, if Violet reconsolidates his army and pumps out some Zealots, he has more of an advantage in the long term, I think. If he trades armies, I think he'll be better off because right now they're basically not mining, except for Violet at the top right position. Nice storm going off on those tanks, taking out a couple. He may actually catch that army on the run. I thought he had an army still, but where is his army? It's actually gotten split up. Never mind, he's only got those few tanks running around. A few vultures are going to try and rush in to defend those tanks. If he can siege up and get those... No, he can't even siege up. He can't afford. Their army is too close. They're chasing him back into his natural expansion. There's an army right there. That's more like it. He's got a few vultures, a decent amount of vultures, and oh, he stasis that group of tanks. He's going to have to be forced to siege up the tanks that he has. The last couple, he's got more tanks coming in as well. Stasis is 3 more tanks! All the tanks have been stasis, and these Dragoons are going to be able to come in and completely mop up those Vultures. Vultures having to fall back. So many tanks in stasis right now. He's going to try and press this at home, press this advantage as much as he can, do as much damage with these Dragoons again. And more stasis on top of the ramp! Oh my gosh, so much stasis. He needs to fall back and kill those units as they wake up, though. You're not going to get up that ramp. There's no way you're going to get up that ramp. He needs to fall back, take out those units as they wake up from stasis, and get that army dead. Otherwise, they're going to all wake up and start killing those Dragoons. They're going to kill those Dragoons in just moments if he doesn't fall back and kill them as they wake up. Here they go. The units are up. They're waking up, and the Dragoons now have to come out of the gauntlet that they created. And oh, there's more units wake up as well. Oh, and look at that. The Dragoons get slaughtered. Violet. Oh my gosh. If Violet had just fallen back and just picked apart those units as they woke up from stasis, he would have basically won the game, but instead he pressed that too far, was accomplishing nothing with all of his Dragoons just sitting there, chilling in the natural expansion. He killed that CC, but I think he killed the CC. Yeah, but if he'd just fallen back and taken out that army, I think he would have won the game right now. Instead, Canata's going to have a chance to get back into this. He may, in fact, counterattack here in a moment, since he's got a lot of tanks, since they all got stasis but not killed. He's going to push out and hopefully kill off that top right base. If he can kill off that top right base now, then he is going to be at an advantage. And he can see with his spider mines more things being produced at this expansion down here. He's going to try and take it out real quick. Just a single siege tank going down there, perhaps some vultures to reinforce. Oh, and that's not going to happen though. Wow, somehow those Dragoons got through that little minefield, except for that one. It's going to go and attract... Oh! I think the mine might have killed that Dragoon there. Anyway, Violet's built up a decent force now, though, as we can see here. It looks like he's going to do a little bit of a drop. He's out of Arbiters at the moment, so he's just going to do a drop with a shuttle. Get some Zealots in the back there, just be distracting in general. And look at this, a really substantial army actually now for Violet. Canata has a sort of a positional advantage in this kind of corner up here. So next to that ramp, it's going to be hard to break him. And there they go. Here comes a drop with 3 DTs and a couple Zealots, and he's not focusing on that one depot to get at the armories, although the armories may not matter at this point. I think he's 3-3 already, so it's not going to be as big of a deal. Oh, the tank's sieging up on top of the ramp. He needs to okay, I guess he did have Comstat off, so because he was able to kill that Zealot there. Not going to be able to get up that ramp. There's his Stasis going off. Anyway, so that drop actually doing a decent amount of damage. He may actually kill a few depots, which could be a pretty big hit, since if it slows down his production for just a moment, that will be worth it. There, he's killed off, yeah, he killed off 3 depots, it looks like. Nicely done. Violet now getting that expansion back up again. Canata down to 1 expansion at the moment, and it looks like his attack against this top right expansion has been halted. So Violet really starting to pull ahead here. And I say starting intentionally, he's only just starting to pull ahead. He's not ahead yet. He's stopped the base. He's gotten his expansions back up, and he's stopped the attacks on his expansions. And I think he has enough of an army to hold off whatever Canata has to throw at him. There you go. See, that's how you do it. You kill the units as they wake up, so they don't do as much damage. Anyway, so Violet with 2 mining bases, Canata with just that 1, which may mine out soon. He does not seem to have a lot of units with those tanks. He needs to get some vultures on that line. Otherwise, a handful of Zealots could run in and just own that army. He has some Goliaths in the mix, which are going to be good for holding off the Arbiters, obviously. But yeah, really not looking good. Canata, why is Canata not expanding? I mean, I guess maybe he figures he needs to get some forces out, but he really needs another base here pretty soon, or he needs to kill Violet's bases. These vultures looked like they were running around to try and kill some probes or something like that. Not accomplishing that. There's just too much in the way, and I think he knew that some defenses were there, or that some Dragoons were on the way to defending that base. The bottom base that he was going for the probes at, I believe. So he fell back with those vultures. He's actually running them around still. He may go in from another angle, expecting those Dragoons to be somewhere else. He's going to encounter those Dragoons and Archons. He's going to have to fall back away and try and lure those Dragoons into the mines. Oh! Mine does go off. Observer in play is going to enable them to... There we go. Okay, so he did have another base going up. I didn't see that floating down there. Sorry about that. Or being built. So Canata does get a 3rd base up, actually. 3rd base again. He was at 5 at one point. Now he's back down to 2 and now back to 3. Or then he was back down to 2 and now back up to 3, I guess. Anyway, Violet's getting another base up as well. So we saw a no rush 10. They got a bunch of crap, and then they both killed all the crap that each other had built up for 10 minutes. And now we've reset back to about the 10-minute mark, with both players having a few bases and trying to get more up, and just trying to do a little bit of harassment here going on. And these vultures just running all the way through all of these bases by all those cannons eventually die. Anyway, look, both players are starting to mine out their expansions as well. Canata's almost mined out there. Violet has mined out one of his expansions. Another one is getting close because they had them before for such a long time, even though they're relatively new bases, relatively new nexuses, I guess I should say. Anyway, but yeah, so Canata has that going, his third base going. He's going to be able to put out more forces again. But again, I think he needs to move out here pretty soon because otherwise Violet's starting to build more bases. Kind of been the story of the game. Canata needs to make sure Violet doesn't expand too much. And I think he has observer speed upgraded. That's kind of interesting. You don't see that very often. Anyway, recall going down on that base up there. Nice recall. Some mines are right in position though. Kill half of the Dragoons immediately upon impact, but it was more than enough. There were only a few tanks there, and now he's going to actually run up the side as well. Kanata's forces coming in from the side to try and reinforce that base, but now the entire army of Violet pounding down on that group of Goliaths and Vultures. The Goliaths are going to have to fall back. The Vultures are just going to die. It looks like he did manage to hold off that attack in the top there. I didn't see how that happened, but he managed to hold off the attack on his base. It looks like he ran some SCVs. He may have lost some SCVs as well. So kind of losing that base, and he's going to abandon it, actually. That's interesting. He fought off that attack, and Violet fell back, but he's going to fly the base out anyway. I have no idea why he did that. That's very strange. Anyway, maybe he's just, I guess he might just feel not confident enough. Ooh, Psystorm going off to really make sure he picked off that dropship. Maybe he just didn't feel confident enough in holding that position, but he's got to hold that position. He's got to hold it. There's nothing else to it. He's down a base. He has to hold that position and keep that base, his third base. Otherwise, in a moment, he's going to mine out his natural expansion, and that'll be that. That'll be all she wrote, because he's going to be down to 0 bases, and that's not a place you want to be in. Violet now kind of putting pressure on the sides here, kind of bearing a little bit of pressure on the sort of the right side. Thinking about attacking. I don't think Violet can attack right now. He can just patrol around the outside. And I really have no idea why Canata decided to abandon that base. Why did he do that? He just floated away. I think the command center might be floating back down now. Or maybe it's landed at that expansion that's almost... It's hard to tell on a minimap. It may be landed at the expansion that's almost mined out. Or that is pretty much mined out. Very, very strange. Anyway... So, yeah, so Violet is... What the heck? Where did the Zilla come from? Was that from a drop I didn't see? Anyway, Violet just kind of running around his forces. It looks like an attack happened that we didn't even see. We've been seeing some sort of back and forth here. And a few units killing a few units, but I don't know where his whole army went. Yeah, so he did land it at that expansion over there that's mined out on the low ground. I'm perplexed. I am nonplussed. Anyway, Violet's just kind of running away with this game now because Kanata's just sitting in his base and doing nothing and trying to build up. And he's been sort of harassing, but not really. And nice storm again on top of that ramp. Canata not looking very confident at all. Still looking very focused though. He hasn't given up yet. He's not going to give up as long as he has minerals in the bank, especially in a position of down 1-2 in this series. If Canata loses this game for SKT, then KTF will be a 3-1 lead, and they'll just need a single game to polish off SKT1. And yeah, Violet just continuing to pressure and pressure and pressure, getting more bases up. He's got another big army running around the middle of the field here. And Violet, I think he's clinched this game now because Canata has just been mining one base this entire time. Now he's mining about half a base net. And he's just been letting Violet mine off 3 or 4 bases for a long, long time and build up forces, whereas, he's been able to build up 4 times as many forces. That's as simple as it is. And, a nice storm would be pretty cool right there, but I don't think there's any Templar in the area. There's GG coming from Canata as he finally retains the top of that ramp. Then he decides to GG. If he just kept the top of that ramp before, instead of falling back from it, maybe he felt... he must have just felt that he couldn't hold his natural and that base at the same time, but he didn't really have a choice, so a little strange that he fell back from it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this game. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and let's move on to Game 5, which could be the clincher for KT. GG, thanks for watching.